Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Strategy and Growth Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private Facebook community called High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle, then definitely come check us out. We definitely love to have you. That community was put together specifically for our coaches, consultants, and service providers who are serious about getting up to that 6 and that 7-figure level. So if that's you, definitely come check us out. So today I want to introduce you to one of the members of our community, Zurlia. Welcome, Zurlia.
Hey, what's up? Thank you.
Doing good, doing good. Okay, so tell us about what you do.
I'm a sales mentor for coaches and consultants in the online space.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and tell me, what is a sales mentor?
I help people literally reprogram their entire mindset to be able to master sales and marketing and reach their goals and help people at the same time.
Yeah, I love it, love it. So when it comes to sales, what's your perspective on that? Do you find that most people have limiting beliefs or different things that prevent them from being able to generate sales?
Yes, definitely, most definitely. A lot of people assume things about themselves, and it comes from a place of insecurity. They're not confident enough when they start, and so they come in assuming that people are like for example, when the objections are present or they come, they assume that people don't have the money. They assume that, I'm not good enough to take their hard-earned money, things like that. And I help them reprogram their entire perception in order to master sales.
Mm-hmm. Love it, love it. I love the word reprogram, right? Because there's some places where reprogramming means like taking what's like the person, the thing that either maybe you believe or whatever, like changed in a way that it's totally different, right?
Yes. And sometimes, or most of the time, we don't really realize what's on our subconscious. We can't see our own stuff, but we can see other people's stuff. So
yeah.
it's fun for me to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the same thing in like maybe a marriage that's really not working right when someone is like, no, you're the problem. The other person's like, no, you're the problem. You're the problem. We all see each other
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
a person, but we really can't just see ourselves, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me, what got you interested in this type of work?
I started as a high performance strategist. So I started doing that when I got my degree in industrial psychology. I was like, okay, I think I can help people become more efficient and scale their business by using behavioral changing their behavior. And I started doing that, but then I also come from Tesla, where I used to be a salesperson over there. And then after a while, I realized that the main reason why people were not actually achieving their financial goals all came from sales, because their limiting beliefs about sales, because not everybody wants to be a pushy, nasty salesperson. And they didn't know how to translate that into, oh no, I'm here to empower people, I'm here to help people, I'm here to transform lives. And they didn't understand that in order for them to do that, they needed to master the sales and ask for it confidently. So I thought it would be a good way to bring it all together, reprogram their brain, but also teach them a very valuable skill. Because success is 80% mindset and 20% ability. So I thought it would be a good idea to just bring it all together.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you say? So your career, what is it what did you say?
Industrial and organizational psychology.
Okay.
That's what I went to school for. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you get interested in that topic?
I've always been really curious about human behavior and how the mind works. But I also always, since I was a little girl, I've been obsessed with business. I started working when I was 9 years old. So I wanted to find a way to combine it together as well. And I found industrial and organizational psychology is pretty much the perfect combination. So I just did that.
Yeah. And how did you, so in essence, so what did you help in your career? What were you helping people with?
Efficiency. How
Efficiency?
to be more efficient and how to change their behavior pretty much to scale their business, but through behavioral changes.
Yeah. How did you work for when you worked? Are you still doing that right now?
I do that, but it's in the same. I created a program that pretty much combines it with, I teach them the skill of sales, but I also reprogram their brain in order for them to like get their peak performance level.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool combination of skills. That's awesome. I've never heard that combination, but I can see how powerful it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess, what do you enjoy most about what you do?
Helping people, seeing the actual transformation from people, like
Mhm.
getting them from where they're at to where they want to be, and actually witnessing that and seeing that, oh, wow, I did that. That's my art.
Yeah.
But of course, the person has to be willing to do the work and, you know, implement all of the techniques.
Hmm. Awesome, awesome. Now, when it comes to sales, right? So, what are a few common mistakes that you realize most individuals who do have issues with selling make?
They talk too much. I think a lot of people come in and then they assume that sales is all about talking, but in reality, it's like sales is all about listening. You should only be talking 15, at most 25% of the time. The rest of the time should be spent listening to the person, see if they're actually a good fit, if you can actually help them and how you can help them. If you do that, the person would pretty much close themselves because they're going to tell you what they need, they're going to tell you where they're at, and they're going to open up themselves to you. But if you're just talking, that's like, that comes from an ego perspective, and you're not going to be successful if you do that, because
Hmm.
nobody wants a pushy, manipulated salesperson either.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people have the perspective of sales that it's something that's like pushy, right? So
Mm-hmm.
most people avoid it because they're like, well, I don't want to be pushy and I don't want to do this and that.
Yeah,
Do you believe that you could sell without being pushy?
absolutely. Yeah, you
Hmm.
can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how does someone sell without being pushy? What's that process?
You, like I said, you have to listen. You have to learn how to listen. You have to find out, like you have to identify the person's need. I think in the coaching industry right now, one big mistake is also in people's marketing. They are attracting the wrong people. There's three phases of people, and I feel that most marketers are just pushing and marketing to the wrong phase, because we have phase one, which is the people that know they have a problem but don't really recognize or want to admit that they have a problem and or a pain. And phase two is people that know they have a problem but they don't really know that there's a solution for them. And phase three is people that know they have a problem and they know they have a solution, there's a solution for them, and they want to get that solution. So those are the phase three, and phase two are the easiest people to sell to. But most marketers are always marketing to phase one people, and that's why they come across as pushy. They come across as like a car salesperson, and that's not how it should be. You should know how to market to the right person depending on what you're offering, and bring the transformation, bring the, most people want to like give you a vitamin, and you can't give a vitamin. Most people want a painkiller, if that makes sense. And
Hmm.
you have to know how to give the painkiller to the right people who have the right pain.
Hmm.
So, and
Yeah.
that's how you sell without being super pushy.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. Because I definitely, my perspective of what sales is, because it should be, at least from my perspective, when whether it's with the marketing or whatever, like the whole conversation should be a place where you're asking, you're letting the person decide what their issue, what their solution is, right? That's why I
Mm-hmm.
always believe that when it comes to online, you really can't force anyone to do anything. All you could do is put the right information in front of them, and they will make their
Mm-hmm.
own decision. And it's good to figure out, as you said, not really figure out the vitamin, but figure out what the painkiller is that they're
Yeah.
already looking for, and kind of position, whether it's your marketing, whatever, to the place where you show it not as a place of trying to sell anything, but trying to offer or give out free information or
Mm-hmm.
something that's going to get that person to say, oh, that's pretty interesting. I didn't think about it that way. Up until the point where you do have a conversation with them, and then get to the point and saying, hey, is solving this a main priority for you? Not based on trying to sell something, but letting them let you know that there's a need, and then offering that solution. That's so powerful. So what the question now becomes, how do you work with your clients? Do you have a program, or how do you work with them?
Yes, I do have a program. When they come to me, I first diagnose if I can actually help them, because if I can't, I don't take on new people unless I know for a fact that I can actually help them. I do have an online course, but I also give them one-on-one calls depending on their needs. And we do all organic outreach and marketing and PR and all that fun stuff as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Awesome. Do you help with marketing as well? So is it mostly sales only?
Yeah, I teach them branding, marketing, sales. I literally, like I said, reprogram their brain
Mm.
to make them ready for success. And I think most people too, also in the online industry, they believe that, but just mastering your sales, you're good to go. But you also have to master your marketing, and you also have to be ready to market to the right people. And that's one thing that people don't really understand. And that's why they're always without energy, because they're getting on these sales calls with people that are not good avatars.
Yeah, yeah, that is so true. Marketing is one of the things where you have to get it right, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
when I was just getting started, I think I got started back in 2013. And my first 2 years in business, all I did was just get myself in so much debt. It's like, what is
Oh.
happening? And one of the reasons was, again, I was trying to start trying to do things. But as you mentioned, the people I was reaching out to are people who they just, they weren't the right fit. They were just, I was just
Mm-hmm.
basically just going out there trying to it's kind of like cold calling, right? Cold calling works, but the amount of numbers you'd have
Mm-hmm.
to go through to actually make it work is just like there has to be a better way. And figuring out the
Yeah.
marketing, which is getting someone to a point where they are pre-educated, they know what you do before you ever
Mm-hmm.
get to talking to them, is so powerful. So the question now becomes you say reprogramming their brain. So how long does it take? How long does it take for someone to be able to reprogram themselves from whether maybe say not being able to sell to actually do getting the point of selling effectively?
I mean, it takes a long time. I'm not gonna lie, it does, and that's one thing that actually I do with my clients is like when they come to me, I don't just mentor them for 3 months and say, "Hey, see ya, bye." No, they are with me for life now. They had to deal with me for life now, and usually the mentoring one-on-one lasts 3 months, and by then you do see a huge improvement. But from there on, I still give them trainings, and I still give them, chats and things like that to support them, like pretty
Mhm.
much forever, for a
Yeah.
lifetime. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I believe the same thing. So I love what you said when you said for life. I was like, man, you've figured it out. Because I know most individuals when they get into like coaching and consulting, it's like, hey, I'll charge per session or this and that, or I'll sell you an 8 week program or a 6 week program or something. And then after that time duration is gone, then it's like the person stops receiving support and they're like, what do I do now? And then they're jumping to another program, another program. And I definitely share your same philosophy, which is most of our clients, they've been with us for like years and years. And my vision for them is we're probably going to be working together for life. And it's an amazing
Hmm.
thing when you do have a program that works and your clients are getting results. It's just a no-brainer for them to be like, this is my family, this is a community I want to be around long term, right?
Yeah,
So
that's why when you're building your program, you have to like build a painkiller instead of building a vitamin,
mhm,
because most decision comes from tension. Tension is the chemical reaction that happens in your brain that moves people, and that's what a lot of marketers or a lot of coaches don't quite understand. So you don't have to be manipulative, but you do have to create a certain amount of tension in order to move people to realize that they need your services and that you actually can give them the results that they're looking for.
mhm. Awesome, love it, love it. So what about you and your self-education? How do you get your information? Do you listen to podcasts? You're a big reader. Do you go to conferences?
Yeah.
How do you get your information?
I do have my own mentors. That's one thing. I do have my own mentors. I think everybody, no matter where you're at in life and no matter
Mhm,
no matter where you're at in business, you're always gonna need that person. So it's a good way to set the example and set the framework for your clients too. If you want to be a good leader, you have to act in a certain way. So if your clients doesn't see that you're investing in yourself, why would they invest in you? If your clients doesn't see that you're constantly working to improve yourself, why would they follow you, or why would they want to work with you? So I am a big believer in testing. I'm a big believer in optimization. I mean, I'm a scientist after all. So I do a lot of I'm constantly changing and optimizing my program to deliver the world's best results for my clients. So I do have a mentor. I do read a lot. I love reading. It's one of my hobbies. And yeah, I listen to some podcasts once in a while, but mostly from books and
Mhm.
my mentors.
Yeah,
Hmm.
awesome. So what about insights, right? So I like to ask a question like, because every day as you go through, whether it's working with clients, all these different things, you get some insights where you could say, wow, this is a pretty cool idea. That's going to make such a difference in whether it's my life, my business or something. So over the past few days or weeks, have you got any of those big insights you could share?
Um, I've seen that a lot of people usually one thing that I noticed like lately, and that I even shared this with my audience, is that with everything that's happening around the world right now, there's a lot of stress going on. And people, instead of slowing down and admitting that we all are humans and we like our brain is, you know, a little machine that's constantly working, instead of realizing that a day off or a day to recharge, it's necessary, they keep pushing themselves, because most entrepreneurs, they look at it in a perspective of, oh, if I'm not working hard enough, I don't deserve success. And you had to look at the perspective of, okay, but when you're stressed, your IQ level is literally going down. So how are you going to be running a successful business when your perspective is being compromised? Because from a scientific level, when you're stressed, your IQ level goes down 40 to 50% because of cortisol.
Hmm.
And now I'm getting too much away from the subject, but I've seen that a lot of entrepreneurs, it's hard for them to slow down. That the hard part about business is not really business itself, but it's like slowing down and really reassessing yourself and admitting that sometimes you just need to slow down. It's okay. It's okay
Hmm.
to do that. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That's a lesson I learned as well too. Slowing down. It's pretty powerful. And I know for me, because my personality type is definitely one that likes to go, go, go. I think what
Hmm.
really helped me slow down is other team members as well too. Like at
Yeah.
times when you do get to a place, like and I recommend for every entrepreneur, if you do get to a place where you can hire team members to start doing other things, definitely do
Hmm.
that, because that's one of the things that
Yeah.
myself, it definitely gave me some time to breathe and think. Because once you have somebody else helping you with the project, you don't have as much on your plate. So now you could say,
Yeah.
what can I do now? And you begin seeing all these opportunities, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as entrepreneurs, we're wearing all kinds of hats. Like we're wearing everything, and you can't quite be super creative and be there for your clients if you are having trouble yourself. So
Hmm.
if you want to be a good leader, act like one. If you want your clients to work with repetition, I mean imitation, and imitate you as a leader, you have to put on that perspective on them too. And it's hard to admit it, but we are all humans.
Exactly,
So
exactly. Yeah. So what about yourself, right? What skill would you say you've mastered that's gotten you to your level of success that you've created for yourself today?
sales,
Sales?
sales,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
communication, sales, communication,
Mm-hmm.
influence. Because once you become an influential people and you know how to convey that to people, it's such a powerful thing. Because people think that just by having knowledge, that's all you need. Just by mastering a skill, that's all you need. But honestly, you can't quite build influence unless you master sales.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Love it.
Hmm.
What about let me see, habits, right? What's one habit you believe that if anyone would maybe master, if anyone is proactive about, that would help them create success?
Ownership,
Ownership?
ownership.
Mm-hmm. What does
Being
that mean to
able
you?
to because a lot of people are always blaming external things or even internal things instead of actually taking ownership, and instead of saying, oh, I'm not succeeding because my aunt said this, or I'm not succeeding because the internet went off, or I'm not succeeding because of everything that's happening in the world right now. And they're blaming everything instead of like taking full ownership and say, okay, this is happening, but what can I learn from this? And how can I make this work in my favor? How can I do that? Instead of being insecure and just like putting the blame and giving the power that they have away by putting the energy in other things. Take it all in and say, okay, what can I do to make it better?
Yeah.
So ownership, it's one.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. So we're kind of running short on time here, but if someone wanted to reach out, what's the best way for them to connect?
They can contact me on email at contact@zurliaservellon.com, or they can just add me on Facebook, Instagram,
Awesome.
and message me through there.
Yeah. What about any free resources? Do you have any free resources you'd like to share?
Yes, I actually have on my social media, I do have a link with a free book that they can download and get a lot of insights from.
Yeah. What's the book called?
More sales, more clients.
More sales, more clients. Awesome. Sounds like a great read. Awesome. Zurlia, well, hey, thank you so much for making the time to be here today. Really, really appreciate it. Do you have any final thoughts before we end here?
No, just keep working, but slow down, learn how to slow down, and take care.
Awesome. Love it. Well, hey,
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We'll talk soon. Okay.